Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches. I'm adjusting my light. I should have had that in the beginning. There we go. This is not a yarn video. This is a video where I'm talking about school stuff, but if you like yarn, you can look at yarn. I am currently making something, but I don't have my backdrop or my area for school yet. I suppose I could have done it in that boring area where you can't see anything. But anyway, I thought I would tell you guys about some things I was really excited that I got from Amazon. And if you happen to want them for yourself, regardless of teaching or not, or if you know a teacher, these would be great welcome back to the school year type presents. And they're all pretty reasonable, if I do say so myself. One of them was a little bit expensive, but you'll see why. And one was a gift, yeah. So one of the things teachers do, or Amazon has been pressuring us to do, actually a lot of other places as well, I've seen them now for Walmart, Target, Staples, is they want you to put together a teacher supply list, things that you think you'll need. And then a lot of times, I've actually had people ask me, is there anything that you need for your class? And this is just a really nice way to say, hey, I have this ongoing list. And I do have an Amazon list, which some of you sweet friends in the past have bought me things for. So I will put a link in the description. Don't feel pressured, you don't have to. But if you happen to be one of those people that likes to buy gifts for students in classrooms, yeah, absolutely. I do have that link. And somebody bought me something from that link, so I wanted to show you that. So the first thing that I'm gonna show you guys that you could use, whether you, I'm looking over here to see if I have an example, whether you are a teacher or not. Okay, I don't have one here to show you, but I have bought in the past this FriXion brand pen, and they're erasable, and the ones I had before were like clicky ones, and they were like ballpoint. This is a different kind. It's more of a felt tip type. I don't want to say felt tip, more of a wider point. What do they call themselves? It just says erasable fine 0.7 millimeters. Now, the thing that I don't like about these pens versus the clicky ones is a clicky one, you would take this part and you'd push it down and the ink would come out and then you had an eraser on top. These ones, the eraser's right here. So when you take it off and you go to write with it, your eraser is hidden. So then you got to take that off. I mean, is it detrimental to your work? No, but it is a little annoying. I wanted to show you how good it works, okay? And then I'll tell you a funny story about this pen. This is the book I'm reading. I am going on to book 1, Hooked on Murder. Okay, so as you can see, I wrote in the book. Isn't that naughty? You're not supposed to do that. Now I'm going to take this little FriXion thing and I'm erasing it, and then bam, it's gone. It is so good at erasing. Sometimes I would even say better than a pencil. I know. So you couldn't see very well in the clip on Amazon, but they have black, blue, red, green, purple, pink, which kind of looked red in the picture. See, doesn't that kind of look red? I don't know. Orange and black. Now the other thing, okay, so I use these pens for 3 things. Number 1, I just like writing with them. I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, they're excellent for correcting papers because sometimes you're in a hurry, you mark something wrong, or you read over it and you're like, maybe it's not wrong. And then you see that everybody in the class actually got that same question wrong. So then you can just go back with this pen and erase it. Whereas before, either I was scribbling them out or using whiteout, and then if the whiteout didn't dry, it would stick to the paper before it. Or if I did really terrible math, you know, and you've got 17 questions and you got 3 wrong and I just didn't subtract, or 11 or whatever, I didn't subtract right, I could just quick erase it and change it. So I do like them, 1 for personal use, 2 for correcting. But the other thing that I found that was amazing is that students that normally fuss about doing seat work or having to write things, sometimes math, will use an erasable pen without complaining. Yeah, I mean, and typically when we were kids, when I was a kid, you couldn't write in pen because you couldn't erase it. You couldn't change it or fix your mistakes. But You can with these erasable pens. And so, believe it or not, just using an erasable pen, now a second grader will write their heart out. Yeah. So I do let my students, I buy a huge pack, which is on my Amazon wish list, of gel pens. And I let the kids use them for work. But they have to pay tickets for it. I have this ticket system that I use for rewards and consequences. And they can pay 5 tickets. So if they have good behavior for 5 days in a row, they'll get 5 blue tickets. And then they can cash them in to get an award. And they will. There's some kids, that's all they use their tickets on, is writing with their pen. Plus it helps them have really good behavior. Okay, the second thing that I bought on my own. This originally was $60 on Amazon. And for Amazon Teacher Prime Days or whatever, it went to $45. And this is what I got. Look at that. Oh, look at how beautiful. First of all, aren't they beautiful colors? Secondly, they're all organized and pretty. And I love this mint pencil. Oh my gosh. I thought I would love the purple and the pink. I'm going to take one of these out and show you. First of all, the first thing, these are Dixon Ticonderoga pencils. Okay. Number 1, Dixon, the gems that they are, sharpened. Every single one of these pencils is already sharpened. What? I know. And the pencil matches the eraser. Look at how beautiful. Now, you might ask, why do teachers love these pencils? Any other pencil will do, right? Target brand, Walmart brand, piece of wood with charcoal on the end. No, the thing about these pencils is they are perfectly straight. They always perfectly sharpen. And I know that seems crazy. There'll be times where you're taking one of those cheap pencils and you're just, and it comes out and it's still not sharp. Or the like pencil that is like crooked in there and it just sharpens with one wood side on there all the time. So, and it seems crazy, but when you have 23 people in that class needing a pointy sharp pencil, you wouldn't believe the sharpening that happens. So they're perfectly crafted so that the lead is in the middle, perfectly straight. You never end up with a wood side. Does that see better? I see makeup people doing that. I'm doing this with my pencil. Secondly, these are the best erasers ever. Next to these erasable pens, these erasers are just top notch. Yeah. There's times when I have used more of the eraser than the pencil, and that's very sad because the pencil is almost worthless at that point. But that's why also in that Amazon wish list, I have those little eraser toppers. Okay, so those are the things. Perfectly well crafted, straight lead, no wood, sharpens beautifully, great eraser. Aren't they beautiful? I did get them for $45 in this box. You want to see how big the box is? Look at that. Look at all those pencils. There is 150 in here, pastel. Now, I did leave the link back up for pencils because I don't know if you know much about the age of 7, 8. Usually some second graders come in at 7, almost 8, or they're 8 and they're almost 9. But they love to destroy their pencils. They love to stick them in their noses. They love to put them in their mouths. They love to chew off the erasers. They love to chew on them like this, like they're corn, just chewing on the side of them. Little boys love to scrape the outside of the pencil along their desk to get rid of the paint. Why would you do that? Look at this beautiful blue pencil. It matches my nails. Why would you do that? But I don't know. They also, at one point, somebody will have a short pencil. You know, like one that's like this big. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the world needs to have their own short pencil. And they'll be spending all their free time sharpening that pencil down to be the shortest little pencil ever. And then they're like writing with these little tiny pencils. So pencils are a real serious issue in second grade. We used to ask for just 20 pencils a kid. And that barely got us through to halfway through the year. They were out of pencils. So we upped it one year, the other second grade teacher and I, to 40 pencils. And some of the parents were shocked. Some of them were shocked. But it's needed. And I don't put classroom supplies when the kids come into the classroom, I do not put all of their supplies in a community bin. That's what I'm saying. I used to do that prior to COVID, but I've always felt iffy about it because as a future teacher and when I was a child, I always liked to keep my supplies neat and tidy. I didn't like to break them. I didn't like to draw on them or chew on them. And so I would be, or my mom would choose me something special, like colored pencils, whatever, you know, like these cute blue ones. And I'd be sad seeing somebody else using my pencil. So I kind of wasn't too sad about getting rid of the community supplies. It didn't bother me. And so I do let everybody keep their own supplies. They have whatever they can fit in their desk. And then they have like a cubby supply bin on the side of the room where they can put their, you know, they only need like 3 pencils on their desk at a time. And then all the rest can be in their bin. And then when they're done, they go get their pencil, they go get their supplies. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the cubby bin situation. I might do what another teacher does and do Ziploc bags. And then they can get their extra supplies when they need it. They just keep 1 glue stick, 1 eraser, scissor, crayon, or whatever. So anyway, all that chatting for this beautiful, beautiful, look one more time, box of pencils. You know that you're a teacher or a would-be teacher or should have been teacher when a box of pencils makes your heart sing. Okay, the last thing that I have here to show you. Look at that, that was probably like 5 minutes of talking about pencils, you guys. This was a purchase from somebody, Kate. If you do purchase something, it does allow you to say who this is from. And so I actually personally know Kate. She went to high school. Well, I think when I was a senior, she was a freshman, but she was friendlier-ish with my sister. But then you guys, you are not going to believe this. I moved to Oshkosh because it's the greatest city in the world. And at some point, she moved to a smaller town somewhere around Oshkosh. And we connected on Facebook. And she came over to my house with her little nugget. She's got a little kid. I don't remember how old she was. And I taught her how to crochet. So there's our crochet connection. And she crochets hats and amigurumis. She's loving it. And so we haven't seen each other really since that one day, but we just, even though we probably live within 30 minutes of each other, she was my sister's friend, but she's also a friend of mine. Anyway, she was a preschool teacher for a while. I don't know if she still is or she's doing a home care system or whatnot, but she bought me these timers. Now, first of all, I love that this one is pink and the buttons are blue. And then I think these were just like a couple bucks. But these are going to be, and this one's blue and pink. I have 2 ideas in here for these little doodads. Number 1, it's always nice to have a good timer for, there's some kids that spend more time worrying about if they have enough time. Do you know what I'm saying? So like if we've done over a lesson, we have an activity, and I say, okay, you have about 10, 15 minutes to finish this up, right? And you pass it out. There are some kids, you'll get 1 or 2 of them a year, they're so worried about if they have enough time and how many more minutes do they have that they don't actually work on their project, whatever they're working on, writing their spelling words, writing their sentences, doing their math sheet. So it's also really nice to have these little timers to put on their desk. And so when I say, okay, we're gonna have this, you've got 10 minutes of work time, and then I can and then put it on their desk, and then they don't have to raise their hand and wait. 1, take away when you're trying to help someone else. 2, they can just quick look their eye over, and so it helps keep them focused. The other thing that I was going to do this year was start STEM busy boxes, because you always have the early finishers. You always have some kids that are just advanced in some subjects. And so I've been thinking about getting together different kinds of activities that are educational, but yet kind of fun. Little games, blocks, cubes, those little hashtags that they can build things with, Legos. I was thinking about putting a deck of cards in there and teaching the kids how to play solitaire, and then they can time themselves, or a puzzle that they complete before the timer's up. And so I wanted to have timers for all those things. I usually use my watch for reading and math group rotations. And like I said, I wanted these timers. So I'm very happy. Thank you so much, Kate, for these 2 timers. I'm going to sneeze. It's coming. Okay, so those are those really fun school supplies I've got. I'll put a link in the description to each of these purchases in case you just want to buy them for yourself. You're like, or you have a friend that's a teacher, or a niece or a cousin or a daughter or whatever. And so you can buy, I guarantee if you have somebody that's a teacher and their school year's coming up and you just want to do something nice, teacher's going to love all this stuff. But then also I will put a link in the description to my Amazon wish list if you're willing to donate to a 2nd grade classroom. Somebody once, and I can't remember your name and I'm so sorry. I was just going to tell you when I was talking about these pens, they donated to our classroom. They mailed me these pens that had like these little poofs on the end. I call them truffula trees because they kind of look like that. They're like kind of yellow, pink, green, bright colors, and then they have the poof on the end. And also kids can pay 5 tickets to use one of those. And I want to tell you, I want to say that was 2 years ago, and those pens are still holding in strong. Sometimes you expect those cute decorative pens not to have enough ink in them. But here we are. We're going into the 3rd year, I think, of having them. And those truffula tree pens, they're really holding strong. And the kids pay 5 tickets to either write with these or with a truffula pen. But if you use the truffula pen, you cannot do your seat work with them. You can only use it for writing in your planner or writing in your journal or just whatever kind of writing you want to do. You can only use these pens on your seat work because they're erasable. All right, you guys, that was a quick little educational video. I do have some amigurumi I'm working on to catch up with the Whimsical Stitches World Tour. I am halfway done with this book, so I will be making whatever the pattern is at the end of this, and I'll show you. And then while I was watching a movie, I started this hat. I was really happy with how the yarn changed colors right when the brim was supposed to end, so it looks more perfect like that. You know, I hate it when you have a color change in the middle of a row. All right, you guys, thanks for those of you that stuck through this school supply video. It's just when you get something in the mail and you're so excited and you want to share it with someone and your kids are like, we hate school, we want summer forever. They don't obviously want to talk about school supplies, and I'm pretty thrilled about them. Okay, so thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.